Welcome to the Adventures in Jir'Haniya. We are doing a special little session here. We are minus the character Verkus Charles, but narratively that will make sense. Just a recap. For the 100th episode, we have been inside the Mound of Mol'Karrian, and where we last left off, our intrepid team fought through a myriad of enemies, including shield guardians, intellect devourers, and finally fighting a strange insectoid beaked mage that was hurling all kinds of vicious spells at them. But they defeated this mage with Verkus plunging his flaming sword through the mage's back. The mage fell. We ended right there with everyone leveling up to level 5. That is our summation. In the immediate aftermath of the battle, as Verkus stands over the corpse of this mage that you've all been fighting, what are the three of you doing? The DM is sipping coffee, watching the chaos from above.
So we just defeated this thing.
Correct.
Is there anything on them?
Which means that our map would be most recent. Let me see right now.
Yeah, it would be the most recent one that I posted to you guys. I can definitely find it. I kept the physical copy here, but really quick, I did want to have you guys. Here's how I want to do this. So, the mage, as soon as its body hits the ground and goes limp, and you guys realize that it's no longer a threat, it does begin slowly turning into dust and melting. Not only the body of this mage, but whatever strange robes and items it had on it. So I would like whoever is standing around it, which all 4 of you were in the immediate vicinity of this creature when it was defeated. Anyone who wants to try to search it, I would need you first to succeed on a DC 14 Dex or Int save to realize that you got to move quick, and then it would be an investigation check if you pass that. My glasses.
I got a nat 20 intelligence save.
Okay, so you're like, we got to move. Actually, with a nat 20, that's an auto success for everyone. So I'd like all of you to roll investigation checks, and based on how well you roll is what I will give you.
Got this.
I'm telling you, this
Guidance.
Guys.
14! Heck, that's great for Ramos.
I got a 12 on my
Plus
investigation.
2. I got a 14 as well.
Nice. We got 2 14s, and then Kassan another nat 20, I imagine.
No, I got an 11.
Okay. Hey, that's good.
No, 12. I forgot to
12?
list my modifier to 12. I rolled an 11.
No, that's really handy. So, you guys find, let me roll this real quick. So you guys find a satchel that has a very intricate little stringed clasp. You realize it's going to take some work to untangle it and open it, but you can feel inside it sounds like just coins in this satchel. Based on the weight, you would guess around 160 gold. So it's a pretty hefty satchel there. And then you also find an amulet with 3 different jewels in it. There's a red one, a blue one, and a green one. That's around its neck, and it looks very ornate. You guys snag that, and then you also find, let me roll again really quick for this. You also find 2 jewels that look like they're worth about 100 gold. One is an emerald and one is a ruby. None of these items are giving off magical vibes. They just seem valuable. There's also, you're able to salvage a well-crafted dagger off the mage. Actually, this is a dagger +1, so you guys do get that added to your loot to distribute to someone. So an uncommon dagger.
I'm marking these down in party loot.
Okay,
thank
you.
Thank you, awesome. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we can distribute stuff when Verkus is back.
Perfect, yeah. Like I said, I have a plan for this session, so you probably won't need any of these items, except for maybe a couple of them.
Says with a smirk.
You know.
I need them.
And maybe like an escape room kind of thing. Like
Perhaps. Perhaps.
Well, these are useless. We're not gonna...
So while you're in the escape room, no, I'm just kidding. Thank you for posting that, Rex. That's super handy.
Yeah.
So, actually, as Verkus is kind of stepping back and cleaning his blade and making sure Tavusa's okay, which Tavusa's totally fine from the combat. The three of you gather these items off the mage, and it finally turns to dust and kind of dissipates into the air, turning into nothing. Suddenly, the three of you feel something weird happening around your minds, like as though energy's crackling right around you. And before you guys can even make a save or anything, suddenly there is a blinding flash of light for just a moment, and suddenly you guys find the three of you. Verkus is not anywhere in sight. The three of you are standing atop a snow-capped mountain peak outside. The sky is a clear blue.
Screaming to see if you can hear me.
Yeah, Verkus does not appear to be anywhere nearby, nor is Tavusa. This mage is gone. You're in a totally different place. You're on the peak of a mountain. The sky is a bright blue. It's not super cold, thankfully. There's not really a breeze either, though, so it kind of feels weird. And stretching around you, as far as you can see, is just other mountain peaks.
Can I see if this is like another room in the Mound of Mol'Karrian, or if it's like, did we get taken out of there for somehow?
How would you like to try to discern that?
Can I do some kind of Arcana check to just see how we moved, like how we might have been able how we came here?
Yeah, you can roll straight up Arcana with that, paired with kind of a sort of passive, low-level detect magic that you have going now at this point. You know, with what your characters have been through.
Very, very light.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, nice 16 on the die, 3 on the guidance,
Oh,
and
so
plus
19.
5 to Arcana.
Oh,
24?
So 24.
So with a 24, you're like, okay, like based on subtle clues, you're like, if we were teleported somewhere, we would have these certain sensations, and there might be these fragrance alterations, and you're like, none of those evidence things are present. So you're like, I think this is a mind trick, especially with the way there was energy crackling around you guys for about a second before this happened. So you think this might be some sort of trick of the mound. You definitely also notice that, combined with that high check and your passive perception, that the lack of wind up at this height, like, I don't know if tide's ever been this high up on a mountain, but with your academic background, you certainly read about people who have scaled high peaks, and you're like, there should be more wind. It should be colder. It just feels wrong. So you think it's part of the mound.
Water does this weird thing where it condenses and gets hard when it gets cold, but I'm not feeling the cold part.
Were you able to find my cousin? Where did he go?
He's not here. This seems to be some kind of mental effect, perhaps from defeating the sorcerer. There might have been some lingering match. I do not know where Verkus is.
I start searching for Verkus.
Ramos slaps this up really hard across the cheek, like, wake up!
Roll an attack. No, I'm just kidding.
my mage hand will also try to wake up Rex. Ramos.
Well, yeah, Kastaneth, you begin searching around. You see that there's really not much on this peak. You guys are at pretty high elevation. It's just snow, and there's no footprints around you besides the ones that you three are making right now. Now, suddenly, as you guys are searching around, a ghostly figure appears, and it is the old man from the cabin. And he looks at the three of you and goes, "It's not too late to turn back."
I can't turn back without my cousin.
You said that last time, and then we continued forward anyway.
I know, but you haven't reached the end yet. You're getting close, though, and I'm concerned. This is one of the last vestiges of magic that I have within me. I was hoping that your cousin who gave that compelling speech on stories would not be here to sway you, and that I could convince you three to leave, and I would return him to you unharmed. He's safe right now. He's where you left him. In fact, as I'm sure you've surmised, you three are as well, except your minds are here with me.
Mm-hmm.
If you're capable of so much, why didn't you leave the mound?
Well, as the wise one from the water has surmised, my power does not extend beyond the mound, which is why it would have been easier for me to teleport you elsewhere. It would have made things simpler, but No, we are here in the mountains, sadly. My powers do not extend beyond here, but within, I can make things as difficult as possible for you, but I fear that ultimately you may vanquish me and get to what lies beyond, and as I said,
So,
that would spell doom for many.
so you're like a demigod in here only.
I feel like that's giving me more. It waxes over the suffering of being in isolation for so long, but in terms of powers, I suppose you're correct.
Wouldn't vanquishing you provide you some kind of freedom?
Would I really be able to rest with the knowledge that the horrible things I created are now able to be taken out of the mound? Remember, I said that this magic was meant to contain, and then it grew out of control and trapped me here, but it was meant to contain.
Contain
And
what?
there's
The old man wasn't looking around. That was Josh seeing if his cat came in to cause mayhem. So
old man has a cat behind
the
him.
old man goes, there is a magical little black cat named Haru running around here somewhere. Keep an eye out if you see him.
It's
He's been
not-
very mischievous lately.
It's just like floating and spinning in the background over this mountain.
It's
Like-
my cat. It's my
Yes.
cat. Just
My cat was in here when I put the spells up, and now he is a demigod as well. As I'm sure you can imagine, giving a small feline creature godlike powers
Any
is very
kind of
dangerous.
power, yeah.
Yes,
That's what we're trying to contain.
yes, it's just a giant magical cat. I'm gonna retcon all the stuff I had planned to be like, no, it's just a giant
Nope,
magical
it's just-
cat. It's the little
Perfect.
agent of chaos and floof.
Oh my god. Never mind. Tangent on this, but
That becomes the whole campaign is you trying to stop him from like knocking the world off its edge.
Literally just like tapping it slowly closer to the edge.
You form a whole new religion where the whole point is for people to like start keeping the cat busy with games. And that's like
Yeah.
everyone's honorable duty. It's just like, if we keep this going, the world will stay safe.
if
We
this
just
cat
gotta
gets,
keep it occupied.
do not let this cat get bored or hungry.
Why are your offerings just a bunch of food and empty boxes? Don't question our Lord.
Yes. This is the ancient edicts. It must stay pristine. I love it. Well, the old man has he's a very ghost-like figure at this point too. Like he's kind of like see-through and stuff. He looks almost like a Force ghost from Star Wars. He's just kind of watching you guys like, what will you do next?
So if continuing, what would you have us do with the items in the mounds to not be used for evil purposes? Is there a way of destroying them? Is there a place we could take them? Is there somewhere you would have entrusted them to go instead?
These are wise questions. I'm glad you're asking them. I, of course, attempted to destroy them myself long ago, and I failed, but based on how you've come through this place, maybe you would do better than me. I do know that there is a place. I must remember the name. It was far in the northwest, and a place built even long before I built this mound. A fortress, a keep of some kind. The Dread Keep. Have you heard of it?
Have we
No.
heard of the Dreadkeep?
You probably
What about-
would have maybe heard of it as some like ancient fortress that no one can get inside and no one knows what's inside. But you would have heard just beyond that nugget of kind of consistency, there'd be other legends that all sound pretty far-fetched and ridiculous. You know, people claiming they've been inside, and it's like, okay, yeah, no, you haven't been inside the Dread Keep, whatever. You know, so weird stories like that. But yeah, you guys would have heard that it's a place in the Northeast. It's hard to get to. It's in the mountains, and it's been around for as long as anyone can remember, and no one knows what's inside. The walls are like 50 feet high, like it's ridiculous, and no one knows what's inside. So
We have not heard of this Dreadkeep.
well, we were attempting to study it back in my day, and obviously that came to no avail. The place is impenetrable, but because it's so grandiosely constructed and it's so ancient, and we did find some strange magical signatures around it, but we fortunately ran out of time to explore further before the beholders came. Yeah, we postulated that maybe within could be a solution to destroying what I built, but again, back when the Beholders invaded many millennia ago, the things I created led our kind to victory, but at what cost?
Did you make?
We made weapons of war. Things that perverted reality and gave the wearer unnatural power. Again, we only used them for a short time. Once these items were created, the tide turned in our favor quite quickly. As soon as the war was over, many went to celebrate, but I instead came here to the mound and tried to contain these things, for I figured the longer they were exposed to the world, the more havoc they would unleash. And now my fear is being brought to fruition again, after my many, many ages of isolation.
So you constructed these powerful weapons of war. After using them to win, you hid them away here for fear of what they might be used for by others.
Not even that. Misuse by those who do not deserve power has always been a concern of those who make weapons of war, but no, these items were very powerful, and while they gave the wearer power, they destroyed the soul of those who used them over time, but it magnified as it went on, and I feared that if they devoured one mighty who wore it, maybe such as yourselves, it could begin to devour others and gain its own power, and who knows beyond there. I mean, we were working with magical forces far beyond our understanding. I mean, look at this mound that was simply made to be a barrier, and instead it's this polluted prison of my nightmarish existence.
And you created this mound yourself.
Others helped me. I wish some of them had been trapped in here with me. Not that I'd wish that on anyone, but I do believe they were killed when the spells became active. It would have been nice to not be alone for so long.
I look at the other two members of the group away from the ghost and I say, do you think this guy's telling the truth? And if so, why would Hirgon lead us here just to unleash some corrupting weapons of war on Jir'Haniya?
Might
Maybe
be what
that's
we
not why
need.
we're here. Maybe we're here for a completely different object. Maybe something that's being used or something that can assist in containing whatever we're going after, whatever we're destined to handle.
We know very
Just like-
little of the prophecy. I sure wish that Hirgon was here for guidance.
I wish Hirgon was here as well, because then maybe he can explain some of this.
The old man goes, I recall in the cabin, did not one of you mention something about someone in the green fields, maybe? Someone who had a copy of the prophecy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The old man looks at you guys and shakes his head and goes, I am reticent to say this, but you have shown yourselves to be honorable, kind, well-intentioned people. If you do retrieve the things I built, just use the utmost caution and please, for me, go to this prophecy and understand what you're working against. Even though I have been working very hard to keep you from finding these items, they did deliver Jir'Haniya from the Beholders thousands of years ago. Many, many lives were saved. I hope you can do the same and not suffer the same fate as I have.
I have a feeling that with the magic that you created thousands of years ago, perhaps there's some kind of magic or other approach that we would be able to use to mitigate or nullify the negative effects of the objects you've created. In a thousand of years, I'm sure that there's been some kind of advancement that would be able to at least assist us in withstanding or holding out against whatever the negative effect might be.
Potentially.
Is there anybody who helped you that would still be alive?
Unless they are an immortal being of great power, not that I would know of. I worked with some elves, but even they, over thousands of years, tend to dwindle, or I'm sure you've heard of the condition, I forget the name of it, where some elves, once they've reached a weariness in their souls, will choose to go into the afterlife, and they will let their bodies turn into trees. Many elves in Jir'Haniya have done this as a sort of ritual to pass on. It's beautiful and fascinating, but mainly I worked with those with more normal lifespans for the thinking peoples. Humans, dwarves, dragonborns, and such. Yes, I don't. I would be extremely surprised if anyone I worked with was still alive.
How would we find them?
Would any of them be more in the habit of documenting their thoughts?
Mm.
The kingdom that we were part of did task us to keep things secret. I think I may have scribbled a list of names of my associates towards the end here, trying to give us some sort of credit and legend for what we did for the war against the beholders, but that may be with the items, potentially. I don't remember, it's been so long.
Okay, that's understandable.
Tide, aren't
Lead
you from
us to
like a
that.
mage's school? Do you not know people that would like possibly be able to help us?
I may know people there. Yes.
I'm sure once you guys, if you ultimately decide to take these items, you could probably figure out how their functions work and then begin to pursue leads on how to try to alter them or mitigate the negative effects therein. So,
Okay, so
So-
let's look around.
So asking, so defeating your vestiges, that would be the end of you. The protections of the mound would be gone, and these items would be vulnerable to be taken by somebody else.
that is correct.
If we commit to going, we have to
We're
commit
taking-
to taking care of
Yeah.
these things.
Yeah.
I think that
can
might
I-
be part of what we're supposed to do.
And we might, as strong as they are, it might be what we need.
If you consider the fact that we're strong enough to come into the mound to potentially take these items, and theoretically we're not planning on doing anything untoward or evil with them, and given that we've come across some people who are quite powerful, those horsemen that Hirgon warned us against,
The Wretched
perhaps
Riders.
the wretched riders, perhaps they would be able to come into the mound, defeat the vestiges, and get through the magics herein to get these items. So maybe part of why Hirgon wanted to come here was to make sure that these items were going to be protected no matter what. Maybe we need to keep these items safe. Maybe we are essentially the new Mound of Mol'Karrian.
That's a good point. Josh, I want to do a divine sense. Oh, yeah, I want to do a divine sense and just see if I detect anything fiend, fey, or undead from Mol'Karrian himself in the vicinity.
Yes, let me pull up that
You-
trait really
you pick
quick.
up that I am Fae.
I look around, I'm like, whoa, it's a fairy.
For divine sense, so just as an action, you can detect good and evil, and until you can see anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead. Correct?
Mhm.
Yeah. So you sense this, and Eremos has used this trait of his before to like read other people and assess situations, right?
Yeah.
So with Mol'Karrian, you get kind of like a warped reading where it's like, oh, hang on, sorry. Sorry, my sister was just texting me about the cat really quick. We're good. So when you cast this divine sense, you get like a normal reading that you would get from any person where there's not like a full swing to evil or good. There's kind of a little mixture in the middle. And you get that from Mol'Karrian. Like the person you're talking to right now is kind of a weary, a little bit twisted by isolation, so a little bit off, but neither wholly good nor evil, just very average in terms of that spectrum. But then you do sense some magic kind of distorting the divinity sense, but there is no like heavy good or evil, and there's certainly no fae or undead or celestial. So he is again kind of a vestige of a person, and
Okay.
beyond that, there's no other otherworldly presence within him. So or in
Okay.
this vicinity at all.
Kind of
Okay.
like a being of the astral plane, like a specter of some sort.
Pretty much, yeah. Almost like if Doctor Strange had his soul out, like from the first movie, but then like his body was like frozen in like cryo space the whole time while his little astral projections just wandering with nothing to do. That's pretty much his whole guy. So
Perfect.
yes.
He's the astral projection.
To use a Doctor Strange metaphor. So
Yeah.
so
So, do we see anything up here with us, or are we just like completely isolated? Like, is there a structure? Is there a creature? Is there a path?
it looks completely isolated. Actually, if you want to roll a perception check really quick to see if you can discern, it's going to be a high DC though. If you guys want to look around for any where to go here, or you could ask the old
Yes.
man. So
I think
oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna
he's
ask Mol'Karrian. Interesting. I think part of my concern is that you're still, in a way, here. You're still sentient, which means once we destroy each vestige, you move on to whatever might be next. And that might include people. You're no longer going to be isolated, people in the general sense. So, is that all right? Is that something that you're okay with? Are you ready to move on?
oh yes, I've been ready for some time, but he takes a step towards you and goes, I must thank you for considering my feelings and my readiness to go. I haven't been shown kindness by another person in quite some time. So thank you.
Of course.
My concerns are solely for the future of Jir'Haniya and the world as a greater whole. As for myself, though, I am quite ready for peace. Indeed.
I think that you've been worrying long enough about the items you've created and have been concerned about their future for long enough. I feel that maybe part of our destiny, though we still have no idea what it might be, is to relieve you of your duty and take over your watch.
He strokes his chin and goes, I never thought of that. Maybe your friend who you spoke of, whose form I took, maybe he wanted you to take upon this mantle that I have borne for so long. Perhaps that is part of this prophecy you keep mentioning.
I think part of it is to help us get stronger and learn to work together, as we're still relatively newly formed for the group that we're traveling with. But at the same time, it might be possible that we are to take over your mantle and making sure these items and objects and you know weapons of war don't fall into the wrong hands, because we are not unique in our world. There are others equally as strong or stronger than us. And if we can come in here to acquire these items and put up such a fight against you, there are people out there and other beings out there with far more nefarious means who are going to come in here once they learn of such objects of power and try to reclaim them and use them for their own devious, means. So as much as you keep telling us to turn back, as much as you keep saying that it's dangerous and that they have to stay here, I think it best if we take over their protection and maybe have these items on the move, or perhaps find an even more fortified place for them to be stored. Perhaps even in the Dreadkeep, if that seems so impenetrable.
I've spent so many years fixated on keeping these items here with me. To abandon that for your idea, though it makes sense, is difficult, but I think
Change
you
is never
are
easy.
right. Indeed. But it's time. It's long overdue. I will help you.
Tired.
Yes, I will help you. I was going to point a path forward, but I think your friend, he nods over at Eremos, I think he noticed it. And while this man was talking, Eremos, you did notice that down part of the peak. Oh, sorry, did I get muted? I always click this little
No,
button.
I
Okay.
Nope.
Sweet. So further down the peak, there's no footsteps around other than the ones you've been making, and obviously the ghost old man is not making footsteps. But you did notice that there is kind of a little like a rock jutting up a little bit, and it looks like the terrain might move down around that into some kind of valley further down. It looks like it'd be, if you wanted to get away from this mountain peak and get further down to lower ground, that would be the most expeditious route. So you noticed that while he was.
Sledding! We
The
can
old,
go
the old man
sledding!
goes, What is sledding?"
Oh, sledding.
I like grab him by the sleeve and like, come with me, I'll show you.
Oh, you try to grab the old man?
He's
Sure.
a ghost.
It
Yeah,
doesn't.
no, I
It just
grab-
kind of goes through him, and he goes, "I will follow you. I'm curious what this term sledding is."
Sledding, 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 sledding.
I'll freeze some water in the sled for
Yes.
Tistan.
Just make like a big toboggan. We'll put like cool runnings it and just like get
Yes.
in.
Well, Eremos, you would have a shield you could use like a sled, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect.
As
I
you
had no
guys are
idea how I was gonna do it, but I have my ice sled now.
as you guys are preparing this, the old man goes, "Ah, I see what you are going to do. That is much better than trekking down the mountain. I am impressed. Do be careful, though. It does get rather steep in some parts, but I think that will be a rather exciting journey. I wish I could join you. But yes, get back to your friend. I'm sure you'll figure out the rest of the way back to him. Good luck."
I used the thorn whip cantrip to launch my sled down the hill.
Nice.
I have a question before we take off on the sleds.
Yes.
Would
Too late.
I have been able to short rest during this conversation with Hirgon or not? Because I was still pretty beat up from the battle.
You have not
We-
yet.
I thought we long rested after the previous battle.
Actually,
Well-
yes, I did say that in the last session. I watched the end of it in preparation for this one. So
Mhm.
I did say that for leveling up, and I'm going to say that in terms of after defeating that mage, an imperceptible shockwave kind of went out of magic that gave you the effects of a long rest. So everyone take a
All right.
long rest.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. I'm ready for sliding then. Okay.
Yeah. This session's not going to be combat heavy, so it's fine. Yeah, this is going to be more RP. But for sledding, I'm trying to think how I want to. Do you guys want to do a few rolls to make sure you end up in the right spot? Yeah, you do. Okay.
Yeah, I think that'll be
Yeah.
fun.
Okay. So
Gotta love me a sledding encounter.
I love it. So as the three of you take off going down this hill, you quickly gain a frightening amount of speed. So I'm thinking for navigating some turns here, that would either be I'm going to say acrobatics or a dex save. And then in certain conditions, I would allow a survival check as well if it's getting a little, if it's to avoid a crash, So
Okay.
I think what I'm doing is I've like frozen like ice around my feet, and I'm kind of just like sliding down. And I'm using the same control
You're
water to like navigate, give me an advantage on the roll. But
almost
I'm like
making little rudders as you go to like steer.
right,
it
like
around.
I'm just like because I can move the so I'm like control. I was like, okay, slow down a little bit around this turn, like.
Nice.
Do you remember in Avatar: The Last Airbender when Katara goes out to help Aang on the Serpent's Pass with the serpent? She like freezes her feet in this like little thing to skid across the water. I'm
Mhm.
imagining your feet kind of like that, and then you're using your control water to like
Just-
manipulate your path. And
I'm
to,
like
keep
manipulate the
going.
terrain, give a little frozen ramp turn, like.
Nice.
I'll do that for like if I can get ahead enough of Gaston, I'll like where there's like an edge that might go off, I'll create a little frozen ramp to like turn him.
Just like go woo and go down.
Would I be able to use Druidcraft to like build up a little ramp for myself?
Absolutely.
So,
It's just Eremos.
So basically,
I throw a rope to
shape
Eremos
water
and he
is
can
what
like
you're talking
toboggan
about,
behind me.
shape water.
What was that, Rex?
Isn't shape water the ability you're talking about? Tied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't you just have one effect of that at a time?
active?
Probably.
Any of the like what is it?
I'm thinking if you have made a sled for Kastan, or then you would not be able to also make skates for yourself.
So any of the non-instantaneous effects, I can have 2 active at a time.
Oh, okay.
Nice. So yeah, you could have your sled and then a terrain feature, and then once you pass that terrain feature, make a new one as you go forward.
Right, like that one would go down. Like
Perfect.
and
There'd be enough time in between for everyone to use that terrain feature before the new one comes up. So awesome. Well, you
Cool.
guys are moving down the hill at a great speed.
too fast.
The air is hitting your face, and you're starting to pick up some speed. And around that little like rock jutting out of the side where it kind of curves around, that's going to be the first turn you guys got to navigate. So, I do need,
You
like I said,
acrobatics or dex.
acrobatics, dex save would be the 2 that you can choose from for this one, and it's going to be a DC 13 to not pick up some weird speed. Oh no!
All right, I'm gonna do acrobatics.
Okay.
That's a 10.
Okay.
Let's go. Woo!
This is going to get interesting. Okay.
I got a 22. So
Okay.
Nice. So I picture the order, by the way. I know that Kastan launched himself first. So I'm picturing Kastan, Tide, Eremos in that order. And so Kastan, you're going down and you hit this turn and it's a lot. And so
Didn't even occur to me to turn.
yeah, you're like, oh, we're
I
going
thought
really
the sled
fast.
was
And
gonna do it.
yeah, the sled does not do it. And so we'll
There's
see what
nothing
happens
like
in a
sledding
minute.
back home in the Feywild.
Yeah. No, so that edge, it kind of banks your sled and then you fly off like a rocket.
Into
I'll show you what happens in a minute. I got some fun ideas, but so you're
into
airborne.
open air.
Tide, you hit this and you see Kastan go airborne. You craft a little bit of water to extend this this turn and make it so you skid along it and you stay on the course. Now Eremos, with your shield, your shield, because it's metallic, reacts with the water a little more than the water on water, and it kind of hydroplanes you off, and you fly off after Kastan.
can
So
can I telekinesis pull Eremos towards me
you
to
can
get him
try.
like back towards, like I can move him 5 feet. If I see he's like jetting down, can I just like pull him towards me?
Would that give me advantage on my dex save?
Actually, yeah, let's do that. It would just give you advantage. So the telekinetics to like redirect you, and then hey, okay. So as you
Nice.
start to hydroplane, you feel a tug, and you see Tide's hand out, and you just barely make this turn. And,
I see Kastan go. He's got fate bullshit. Like he's.
I'm like, you guys are going the wrong way.
I'm looking through Kastan's spells to see how we want to do this exactly.
Can I send my owl after Kastan just
You
to land on
can.
his shoulder as it just? keep
What
him
is
there
your
for a bit.
owl's flying speed? Because Kastan's going pretty fast.
It's 60, but like
Okay,
if it
that's pretty
can
fast.
dash, it can like
Yeah.
at least keep up with him.
Okay,
Maybe.
yeah, your owl can catch up, yeah, but it's moving like at breakneck speed to catch up to him.
I can imagine.
Can I just face step with my sled back onto the track?
Oh yeah, you could totally do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to face step with my sled like 30 feet back, and poof, magically I'm back in front of Tide.
Yeah, because you realize quickly you're like, this is going to be really difficult to land safely, so you could just.
I'll be like, oh, we're going that way? Okay. I literally like not paying attention. Oh, that's a wild shape. I don't want to use that. Where's my thing?
Just me, see, fable shit.
I'm like flying, and you look. It looks like I want to imagine like your owl goes to swoop to like catch me, and as its talons hit me, I just into like a bunch of powder snow, and then I just like
it's like okay,
right back. Just grow right
it'll
back
keep
into
going
where
down the
you're at.
path. Like keep an eye out on what's coming up ahead.
Yeah, so you guys are back on this trail now. It's arcing around the mountain, kind of starting to slope, and there is going to be another turn. This one, there's no ledge for you to fly off. It's just kind of to avoid hitting some rocks that kind of go over as the pass turns. So this one's going to actually be a DC 14, either dex save or acrobatics.
Because I meant that so well the first time.
So
All right.
as we're doing this, I'm going to cast Bless on all three of us, so we can add a
Nice.
D4 to all our saves.
Dope.
Nice.
Okay.
And then
Blessed
blessed and,
sledding. That's the name of the episode.
and then blessed and guidance stacks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would.
but guidance cannot be applied to a save, only an ability check.
Yeah, so I
But
can do
you said it's an
acrobatics.
acrobatics or dex save.
Oh, so blessed does not apply to acrobatics check, only a save.
You get a D4 to either one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you don't get 2d4.
that's good. The reasoning behind it was like if you're like in kind of like oh shit, then it'd be a deck save. But if you're kind of like I got this, then it's like acrobatics. So it's kind of playing to your character's strengths.
Okay.
That's why I was giving you guys the choice to where your character would be in terms of those
Sure,
different
that's
fields.
good. That's good.
Ironically, Kastana's skilled enough in both areas. They're exactly the same. And I've been using acrobatics because he was so ready for sledding. I was like, he's just going for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Ramos is holding on. He's making saves. There we go.
Well,
Imagine
Eremos
Tide.
succeeds to save.
Imagine Tide is having a great time, just like sledding down. I got a nat 20 on my acrobatics check, so I'm just kind of
Nice.
like,
Does a backflip.
I really just am just like shape watering my way down this mountain. Like,
You're like, we.
You feel the spirit of the team from Cool Runnings just link with your soul for a minute. You're just like, yes, Jamaica, we have a bobsled team. I love that movie.
It's such a good movie.
It's so great. I was watching a show last night actually, and like one of the very minor characters in that movie was in it, and I was like, "It's one of the evil German guys from Cool Runnings," and I was like, "I don't know how I recognize him in a show that's 20 years after that, but whatever." Anyway, random digression. So, all three of you handle this turn with a lot more aplomb, and you're like, "Okay, we're getting the hang of this. Like, this is awesome." So this thing's going down. You guys are just riding this nice, easy slalom as you go down, and you're having a blast. You're going super, super fast. Now, at one point, you guys are getting a little lower. There's still lots of snow, but you're getting near where there's starting to be some trees. So you're getting a lot lower in elevation to where there is some forestation on this mountainside. And so you get to one point where it looks like there might have been a snowstorm recently. And so some of the trees have fallen across this path.
Ooh.
So you suddenly do a turn, and there's these trees, and so you have to lean back on your sleds to avoid like smacking into these. So for this one, I do need everyone to make a deck save to dodge those, and it's going to be only a DC 12, but it is a deck save across the board.
Okay.
Here's what I'm still in front, right?
mhm.
Yes, because you faced it
Okay,
back into the front.
so-
Yeah.
I'm imagining myself on like an old school sled, which is like the wooden plank with the like metal runners
Yeah.
that are like really slick and really like sharp, but made out of ice. Thank you, Tide. Would you allow me to try something? To try and instead of dodge these trees that have fallen in the way, instead just like rake them up and get out of the way.
I love it. Let's try it.
I want to cast. I want to cast enlarge on my sled. And then
Oh,
ideally just have the sled crash through all of these.
you don't even need to roll for that. If you casted large on that thing with some little like ice blades on the front, yeah, you would just slam into these trees. I do need you to make a con save, Castan, just for any like tree debris. If you failed, you'd take like 2 damage. Nothing crazy.
Okay.
You got to bless on this though.
That's true.
Okay. All right. I'll throw it on there. Plus, what's the con save?
Yes.
15.
Oh yeah, you're fine. So yeah, you snap through this thing, and Eremos, you feel a sudden wave of relief because as you were getting close to this tree, based on your roll, you were like, "Man, on my shield, if I lean back to dodge this, it's gonna knock me off my shield, and I'm just gonna tumble." So when Castan just slams through this tree, you're like, "Oh, okay, I'm good. Never mind." And Tide, you're just watching all of this like this is the coolest thing ever. What is
I was
happening?
like, I love when there's a competent magic user around. Like,
Yeah,
This
you
is
guys
the
are.
best sledding that Kastan has ever done. He's like launched into the air, magicked himself back, slalomed and swerved around some rocks, and then he's like sledding, and sled just goes, it just gets so huge.
So, as you guys are going now with lots of trees on the sides of this little canal that you guys are moving through, you do come to notice it starts to rise up a little bit. You've built up enough momentum that your speed really doesn't change much, but you see before you suddenly a rocky gorge in the mountain, a big gap, and you are angled to make a jump here. So, as you guys are launching off of this thing, I do need you guys to actually. So in the air, is there anything you guys want to do? I mean, it looks like the thing falls about 200 feet below you, and so you're going about 60 feet across this thing and launching across. Based on the angles, you don't really need to maneuver yourself, but when you land, you will need to make a strength save, low DC 12, to just stay on your sleds as you land, because it's going to be a bit of a jarring landing. Do you guys want to do anything in the air to prep for that? Because like you have enough hang time in the air to where you're like, oh, I'm going to need to hang on really tight when we land, or else this could be bad. So
Let me see.
Ooh, I'm going to cast a new spell that I picked up at level 5 on all of us. I mean, if we fight, I'm going to regret casting all these spells. But anyways, I'm going to cast Aid on the 3 of us, and we're all going to gain 5 additional maximum hit points for the next 8 hours.
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Oh, for 8 hours, that's great. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Max HP modified. No, will that change
think
it
I'm just-
permanently?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
gonna
want to
add
go
it to the
10
next 8
HP.
hours.
Temp HP. Or is it temp HP or max
No,
HP?
it stacks with It stacks with temp HP.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's increasing by 5 the max HP. This is separate from temp HP, but I'm putting it in temp HP because I don't want to accidentally add 5, then forget to take it off later.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect. Awesome.
I have an idea, but I want to wait to see what Tide says.
I know. I'm looking to see if there's anything cool that I could do.
I'm just thinking if we fall into that gorge, we're gonna need every hit point we could possibly use to not die.
Respect.
Or if you have a rough landing when you get to the other side, also that's smart.
Yeah.
Smacking into some trees.
But it does look like we have to keep going after the gorge. Like it's going to be land, and then we still have more to go.
Correct.
I think we just make this jump.
Okay.
As you guys are in the air, Rex, how does Erebos cast this spell of aid to kind of bolster all 3 of you?
So he clutches his holy symbol that is well, he
thought you were
can't
gonna
because
say
it's on the,
something
it's on the
else.
face of his shield. It's like the holy symbol, so he just like attunes with his shield sort of, and then you just see like a pulse of divine energy just come off, and then the 2 of you guys feel unnaturally warm and protected in the air.
Nice.
I thought you were gonna say you clench your butt cheeks really tight for a second. I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'd clench up too doing a big jump like that. Protect the tailbone. That
Part of what I
coccyx
wanna
is a small
do-
bone. Gotta be careful.
Is when we get close to landing, I want to cast Entangle right where we're about to land to maybe cushion our fall.
Okay.
'Cause
Yeah.
there's no damage associated with Entangle. It's just,
It's just difficult terrain.
difficult terrain, and then going prone if you fail to save.
Yeah, so if you cast that, actually, you guys don't need to roll a strength save. You'll actually just kind of skid along these thorns. And I mean, you'll be kicking up like, not sparks, but just like little debris of wood. But it does slow you guys down a bit and make it a smoother landing with that roughness to kind of cushion you. So yeah, you guys.
So as we're getting close, I'll throw down an Entangle.
Nice. So yeah, you guys do that.
I'm also going to regret if I need spells for later.
It's all good. So, this is a sledding tale for the ages. So, so you guys are continuing down, and give me 1 second to prep one thing. So you guys continue going down after that, much more cushioned landing than expected, which is awesome. And then give me 1 second here. Okay.
As we're like coming around a curve or whatever from having slowed down, like landing from that jump, I'm using Thorn Whip, kind of like, in like old school Hot Wheels sets, they had that like rotating thing that like when the car went through, it went boom.
Oh yeah, it
So
just kind of shoots it out.
Just like grabs onto the sled and whips me by, and then grabs onto Tide's feet and then whips him by, and then grabs onto Arrow's shield and then whips him by.
Oh, that's awesome.
It only adds an additional 10 feet of movement, but I'm just enjoying the whole like. You just see people go, boom, boom, boom.
So you guys take a wide turn. It's pretty wide, so there's no need to roll for it. And as you guys make this turn, suddenly before you on the path that you're sledding, there is a small herd of elk.
Oh no!
That you guys will need to dodge. So you guys have a decent amount of time before you hit the elk. Do you want to try to maneuver yourselves to the side? Now you will have to roll then to not go off the trail, or do you want to try to just dodge within them?
I want to try and dodge within them and cast Speak with Animals and just say, move!
You're in the lead. You got time, so
More spells.
okay. Yes,
Perfect. Josh, can I try to jump on the rearmost one and start riding it?
you can try. It's going to be difficult, but you can try. I guess that would be an acrobatics check for sure.
How much can I see, like, anything past the elk? Does it look like it's like a long?
It looks like it'll slope down for about a minute and then it turns again. So it's a pretty long straightaway at a little bit of a decline.
Heck, I'm gonna try it.
Do it. That'll be a DC 15 acrobatics check.
All right, let's see.
And you are blessed with guidance, I believe, though, right? That's still active?
I specifically don't have guidance because Tide has it. So, and it's a touch spell, so I doubt I can get it from Tide.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, best of luck.
Through his familiar.
Yeah, I could get my owl. It's probably been following us around here. I could have it give it to you if you need it.
Oh, I definitely need
was
it.
following the path.
All right, roll 1d4. Here we go. Now it's a DC 13 acrobatics.
Oh, DC 15. Yep.
Yeah, but I got +2 from guidance. That's why
perfect.
I was,
Yep.
I got
one.
You got a 1? Oh no!
Eremos just is not meant to sled.
Yeah.
So here,
Okay, go ahead.
I was gonna say, here's what I picture happening with a nat 1. So, Eremos.
You are trying to get on an elk.
Yes. So you see this elk towards the rear, and it's just kind of facing at an angle where it's like it's turned its head around to look at you, but its rear is kind of facing you. So you're like, this is a good angle for me to, like, I picture you take your Morning Star and like slam it into the ground to kind of jut you up, you know? And so you launch yourself.
You accidentally hit another elk.
That was what I was gonna say, actually, Matthew. Yes. So no, I was gonna say you launch yourself up towards this thing, and I picture it in slow motion where you're like flying through the air, and you're like about to get it, and then the elk just kind of turns and moves slightly, and so you go right past it, and your shield goes between its legs, and you're like, and you land back on your shield, and you turn and
But
go,
now you're on your
"Oh!"
stomach.
And then you turn around, and there's another elk, and you just hit it with just your face hits it. The elk is fine, but you take 3 bludgeoning damage from just hitting the stomach of this elk.
Poor elk.
The
elk is
elk's
fine.
surprised, but it's unhurt. It's surprised,
Okay.
but unhurt. Yeah.
Okay. It's
So-
like, what just hit my stomach?
Yeah,
Did you
it's just like,
face?
what? So, that was awesome. That was my favorite thing I've envisioned all day. Kastan and Tide, how do you guys, or I know, Kastan, you're casting Speak with Animals. There's no role associated with that, is there?
No,
Not with Speak with Animals. It's just a thing that happens.
Cool. So yeah, you're able to yell, move!
I
And
can communicate with beasts for the 10-minute duration. Knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited to their intelligence, but at minimum they can give me information. Blah blah blah. I don't want to have any information. Might be able to persuade the beast to perform a small favor at the GM's discretion, and I would like them to move.
cool. So as you yell move, this is all happening so quick that you vaguely are aware of something happening with Eremos where you're like, oh, he's in the air for a minute and now he's not. Okay. And then you
I
yell,
think
move!
that one turned because I said move.
Yes, exactly. And as you whip through these elk, Kastan, you just hear one of them go, "Who are you?" And that's but yeah. So they're just very confused by this whole thing.
Do they
And
move? Is there a path for me to follow behind?
I mean, this all happens so quickly. They do begin moving. So actually, Tide, yeah, if you want to roll your acrobatics or dex save at advantage because they do start moving out of the path, it's going to be super easy for you to dodge elk.
Dodge
Go
elk.
elk dodging.
Yes.
Yeah, I got an 18 on the die.
That next session will just be like, all right, Verkus, roll for elk dodging, and he'll be like, what?
Just do it. It'll be fine.
Yes. Sweet. So yeah, Tide, you easily dodge these elk as they begin running out of the way. So you guys go down this straightaway. Eremos, your face kind of is a little sore, but you're okay. You're like, that took a weird hit. But you guys continue down, and then it turns and it gets even a little bit steeper as you go. and you notice it looks like there's a big boulder in the middle of the path a little ways down. It's pretty big. It juts out of the ground about 9 feet, and it's pretty wide, pretty bouldery looking, you know. And as you get a little closer, though, suddenly the boulder starts to heft itself up and turn around. It is a giant stone-skinned ogre, and I need everyone to roll initiative, please. Or
All
actually,
right.
Oh,
actually,
no.
we're not going to roll initiative. We're going to go in the order you guys have been sledding. Um,
Oh no.
so let me pull up my notes here really quick. So yeah, we are going to do it where Stan, you've been in the lead, so you'll be going first, and then it'll be Eremos, and then Tide is in the rear, and then this ogre is going to go last because you guys have a lead coming up to it. So
We're just
um,
3 people approaching him at really fast speed.
yes,
One of us on a very large sled.
yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, your sled's still huge. I forgot that. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's gonna give you a very nice potential battering ram to use. So, Kastan, we'll say just for ease of this that you guys are moving at, I guess you're kind of getting a free dash action as you play until you change the dynamics of your sled. So
Beautiful.
basically, with the distance here, I'm actually going to go in terms of rounds, not feet, just because you're moving at such crazy speed. So
Love it.
you are 2 turns away from being at engaged range with this ogre. So you guys
Okay,
spot him,
am
turn
I-
around, and you have 1 turn and you'll cover half the distance, and then on the second turn, unless you do something to change this, you would slam into the ogre.
How far away is the ogre in terms of feet, though?
Let's say 200 feet, because you guys are moving pretty quick. Or actually, no, it's 120 feet. I'm going to say you guys are going at about 60 miles an hour. That's pretty freaking fast. So,
60 feet, right?
yeah, on a sled, that'd be pretty terrifying. So, yeah. So yeah, he's 120 feet away, and you guys will be moving about 60 feet per turn. So,
Oh. Wait, how far away is he? I'm so sorry.
oh, you're fine. 120 feet, we'll say. And
Okay,
your
that's
sled is
great.
going about 60 feet per turn. So you're going about 10 feet per second, which is pretty fast. So,
Gotcha. Okay, so I can't do what I wanted to do. So instead, I'm going to use one of my free uses of guiding bolt.
nice.
Since it's exactly 120 feet.
Do it.
Oops, I didn't want to do it that way. Okay. I got what is math? A 26 to hit.
That absolutely hits.
Okay.
100%.
All right, roll my 4d6. 1, 2, 3, and 7. I rolled 3 ones. That's going to be 7 total.
All right, 7 damage, and with guiding bolt, that gives advantage on the next to hit it. Correct.
Correct.
Nice. So yeah, you fire off a guiding bolt, and it hits this ogre, and it kind of roars angrily and goes, "Wah!" And
I'm so sorry.
it pulls out a big stone club that looks pretty nasty. So,
Yikes.
Kassan, you are now 60 feet closer. At the end of
Okay.
your turn, by the time you've cast this, you are 60 feet closer. And then Eremos and Tide, you are still 120 feet. Eremos, you are next. What would you like to do?
Is there room on either side of it to just like slide past?
So a little bit. It will require a very easy acrobatics or dex save to dodge crashing into it, and then it might also get to take an attack of opportunity against you, but you could go around it.
Okay. I think that the range on a thrown spear or javelin is 60 feet, maybe for the long range.
Yeah,
So
and actually for that, I mean, we could have you hold it till the end of your turn and then chuck it right as you hit that 60
what I was
feet.
thinking. Yeah. So I'll make
Okay.
I'll make an attack with disadvantage with one of the knoll spears that I still have.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Awesome. Yeah, go for it. This
I'm
thing
just
does
gonna
not have a
roll.
high AC, so that should be good.
Okay. Roll 20, keep lower 1, plus 4.
That hits.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
So I'll roll damage. Sweet.
Nice.
Roll 1d6 plus 2.
5
Okay,
damage
3.
total.
3 piercing damage. It was a 1 on the d6.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep.
So yeah, you
I know
hit
the
it and
feeling.
it glances its side and does a little bit of damage. So
Yeah, that's fine. And then I'll start like veering to the left, and I'll like shout to Kastan, be like, "Let's go around."
perfect. He hears you, and that is the end of your turn. Tide, what would you like to do as you move between 120 to 60 feet over the course of your 6-second turn?
I have some ideas, but for this first turn, I think I'm also going to guiding bolt him from
Nice.
as I'm coming down.
Pew pew.
Pew pew, just all yep.
Pretty much.
Chaining the guiding
Next
bolts is really nice because you give advantage to each other if they hit.
next
really nice,
round
yeah.
would be the round that we would be sledding past, right?
Right.
We end our turn next to him with how the movement's working so far.
Yeah, and actually, just for narrative purposes, I would actually kind of retcon that to where your turn will end about 10 feet away from it, just outside of its range. So then on its turn, it could try to lunge forward and attack one of you. And then on your third round of turns, you guys could choose to either crash into it, go around, all of that. So does that work for everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You're in
Then
charge.
Cool. Well, yeah. So we'll do that so that when you guys all end your turn, depending on where you are around him, he will get to attack one of you, and then we'll proceed with the third round of turns. So
If I can intentionally end my turn like right next to him and the other two can be back, I would prefer that if that's an option.
yeah,
Yeah.
on your next turn, as you guys close that distance, you'll be able to maneuver that. So love it.
Sweet.
Okay,
Sweet.
then.
So,
So then I'll save this thing for my next turn, but I will guiding bolt him still. And then I
And-
get it. I get the advantage from Kastan's guiding bolt, right?
you sure do.
Dope. Does bless still count for
Yes, an attack
attacks?
roll. Absolutely. Yeah, I
Heck
forgot that on my
Wouldn't
attack.
wouldn't have the guiding bolt gone through
Oh.
the javelin? That you
Oh
threw?
yeah, I did make the javelin. So yep, I already used it. Sorry, Tide.
Did you roll it? You rolled at disadvantage and still got it, huh?
Yeah,
That's
but
fine,
let me
so-
roll again, see
He
if I
rolled
crit.
once because it was at disadvantage due to range, and then he
Right.
rolled it once due to the advantage from guiding bolt to cancel it out. Correct?
No, I had a keep lower one on my
Oh.
Abray command, so I'm gonna roll again, see if I crit. Nope, that's
Nope.
fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So yeah, the Tide it'll just be a regular guiding bolt, but this guy has a low AC,
Oh,
so
I got an 18 on the die.
absolutely
Oh,
hits.
oh,
Yeah,
definitely.
100%.
24.
Let's see. First level, it says 4d6. Use this spell. 4, 8, 10, 11.
Nice.
Nice.
11 radiant damage and advantage on the
advantage.
next step. Yeah.
Nice. So you hit it right in the chest with a pretty hefty energy bolt, and it goes, "Rah!" and like it's looking pissed now, and it's at about a little under 2/3 health. So you've damaged it
Oh,
pretty well. Yeah. So the ogre for its turn, it is going to pull out a little it looks like a pine tree branch as a javelin, and because Tide's done the most damage to it, it is going to roll that towards you. Now, because of the distance that you're still at, it will be at disadvantage. So
I'm just seeing this thing come at me. I'm just like,
yeah, it's
An
chucking
entire
it, but
fucking tree.
you're also moving pretty quick, so you're a hard target to hit. So your AC is 13, correct?
it is.
Okay, so the first roll is a 14, but it's at disadvantage. So let's see what the second roll is. Second roll is a 21. So
I'm going to shield that thing off of me. So like,
oh, okay, nice.
I'm just like, nope. Like,
A massive tree comes to impale you. Essentially, you shield.
It looks
it's
like
just
it's been sharpened. It's been sharpened and whittled to be sharper.
For
it
better
just hits this like
implantation.
magical bubble that comes in front of me and just like breaks away as I keep going forward.
So
It, hits
shield's a
and then-
reaction spell, correct, Todd?
It
Yeah.
is.
And does that add 2 to your AC?
5.
So that'd be 18.
Until
It would
my
still
next.
hit. It would still hit because it rolled a 21 total.
You at disadvantage.
It had disadvantage, not advantage.
I thought you said the first one was 14 to hit.
You're right. It was a 14. So okay, so shield would block it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. Yeah. So
Yeah, no worries.
yeah. So you post this you make a magical shield around yourself, and this tree just glances and like sticks into the ground at a weird angle where you're like, oh, I'm glad I'm in the rear of this formation. Otherwise, everyone else would have to dodge it. So nice. Okay. So that lands in the ground, and that was the ogre's turn. So Kastan, we're back to you. You will end your turn within kind of a 10-foot little area near the ogre. So where would you like to? Yeah.
So I will end my turn within that 10 feet, just before I get the opportunity to pass it. What I'm going to do is first, as my bonus action, take a shot with my Starry Form Archer's Bow.
Nice.
And then I believe I would get advantage from the Guiding Bolt.
Yeah. Correct.
Nice. Okay. What's my plus to this? I think it's
Imagine we kill this as we're going by. Like
that'd be awesome.
That'd be hilarious. Okay. I'm gonna use my wild shape. Plus 8 to this. 27 to hit.
That absolutely hits.
Okay,
was it 19 then? Nice.
Yeah, I got a 19 and a 16 on the die.
Nice.
That's gonna be 9 radiant damage from this attack.
All right, the ogre's at about half health now, so.
So
it's exactly at half health now.
As I went to go like shoot it with this bow, I had like taken a knee on my sled, my massive sled.
Yes.
I'm imagining like a king size mattress just like sliding down. I'm going to end concentration on that and large reduce. I've like put my hand on the sled, absorb the magic, go to like shoot off the arrow. This arrow changes color, and now I'm gonna cast enlarge reduce, but reduce on the ogre.
Oh, nice. Oh yeah, because Starry Form is a bonus action. I love it.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So then reduce would be.
Is that a wisdom save that it makes?
Con save. It's a 16 con save.
All right, let me roll it. Got the big dice.
Oh yeah,
big for an ogre.
Chonky metal dice.
Oh, he
Broke your
rolled an
deck.
18. And he has +3 to con, so
Yeah.
So I still have my luck point from my starry constellation, the dancing lovers. Would I be able to use that to have him reroll?
Absolutely. I will re-roll it.
Come on, tiny ogre.
So as you're casting that spell and you feel the ogre just resist, suddenly, even though it's like a pale blue sky of like midday on a winter's day, a cloudless winter's day, suddenly you see the stars just for a moment. And
They dazzle for a second.
He rolled a 13, which +3 is a 16. I'm going to say narratively, though, I mean, you're burning that constellation point. It does get reduced. Yes. Not fully, but like half of the effect.
Okay, so then it says the creatures, the
plus we're in a magical place anyway, so things are weird. Mound of Mol'Karrian.
So the size is halved in all dimensions. Weight is reduced by 1/8 of normal. So it goes from medium to small, or whatever the category is, downsized by 1. Until the spell ends, the target also has disadvantage on strength checks and saving throws. The weapons also shrink to match the new size, so while it's reduced, the weapons deal 1d4 less damage.
Roger.
So whatever effects you would like to add on from any of that.
Yeah, so for this ogre, because we're kind of Mound of Mol'Karrianing it, I'm going to say that it's instead of disadvantage for strength and save throws, I'm going to say it's just -3 to those. And then for the weapon, it'll be just -2 instead of -1d4. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, so you reduce it to about 3/4 of its original size. So it shrinks down, not all the way as much as you thought, but it is a smaller target, which is nice. So,
love.
Awesome. Well done, Kastan. Well, you are now close to it, but this thing's a lot smaller and a lot less threatening, so love it. Eremos, you are up next, and your turn will end, and you do have the opportunity to position yourself closest to this ogre at the end of your turn, if you wish to do so. And it's suddenly smaller, so you're like, I feel a lot better about that.
Yeah, that is actually great. So I was planning on just going by it and like double kneecapping it with my Morning Star for the first multi-attack I've ever made as a Ramos.
Yeah.
Right.
That was my plan, but now that it's smaller, I have a different plan because it seems less threatening. So I'm going to maneuver my sled in a way that I'm just gonna like run it over with my shield, or just like careen straight into it
Okay.
with my shield and myself, and then I will, as part of that, make my 2 attacks.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that if you kind of like get lower on the sled to increase your speed, we'll just say that you're able to just smack into it. So, roll me just a DC 10 acrobatics check just to make sure you don't miss the ogre, you know.
All right, yeah.
Or actually no.
Could you imagine?
Actually, what is your dexterity? Let me look at your stats. I'm going to have the ogre roll a dex save to try to dodge you. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, I'm
And
not
it'll-
making it.
Ooh,
Yeah, and it'll
contested roll.
yes, and so you've got a 12 dexterity, so I'm gonna have it try to do that, but it does get -2 from being shrunk slightly, and then to dex it has a -1, so it's gonna be a -3 DC 12 dex save
Okay.
to dodge.
Not very dexterous, not used to these
Nope,
proportions.
it rolled a 12, so -3. That's gonna be a 9. So,
Nice.
Eremos, you are 15 strength, so can you roll me 3d6 of bludgeoning, and then we'll add that to your weapon hits?
Yes, great.
Whoa.
Yeah, 3d6 for just the hit, you know. Okay, so
That's-
seven off the bat.
So my first hit missed with the Morning Star, but my second one was a 19.
Nice, that hits for sure.
And I will use a Divine Smite as well.
Nice.
There we go. So 7 off the bat, and then another 15 from the hit that struck.
Oh, nice. Okay, so the way
22 total damage.
I picture this is that you fly up and your shield like hits it, and like a bunch of stones like shoot out, and as it's falling back you swipe with your Morning Star and just barely miss its head, but then you backswing and just hit it right in the face, and this
Yeah.
ogre just goes, oh, and as you guys hit the ground, the ogre is not dead. It has 5 HP left, but it's out of the fight. It's not fighting back. Like, you guys can go past it and this combat's over. You've defeated it. It's not gonna die, but you've
It
vanquished
doesn't need
for
to
sure.
die.
Yeah.
So
Can I
to
look
learn
in
not to
that
fuck
hole
with
that
my
it was like
sledding.
sitting in if I see anything interesting?
So it was just kind of chilling there. There's no loot or
there's no
anything in
nest or
there.
nothing. Okay,
Nah.
I got it.
Yep. And so, Tide, before the combat ends, you are moving past this and you see the ogre go down. Do you want to do anything on your turn, or?
No, if it tries to attack me, I'll shocking grasp it, so it
Yeah.
can't. But other than that, I'll just I'll let it live.
Yeah, it's just down. It's just like, what the heck just happened? So it's down for the count. So
As I have been this whole, I just nice and calmly just slide.
I'm gonna put really quick. You guys get 450 XP for defeating the ogre, which puts everyone at 12,750 XP total for everyone. And next session, I will explain how Verkus got those XP, but he does as well, because I like to keep everyone equivalent. So, yes. So you guys go past the ogre, and you're like, okay, that no one died, and no one took any damage from the ogre either. Oh, except for Tide almost did, but then dodged it with shield.
Absolutely not.
How hilarious would that have been? He did nothing to like provoke this ogre other than the guiding bolt, and it launched an entire tree at him.
I just got impaled and thrown back.
That would have been
That's how
very
he
bad.
died. That's how Tide died.
Oh,
First it was the giant frogs, and now it's a tree.
A giant tree.
A giant tree.
My next plan was now the Eremos was like stuck on this giant. I was gonna try to like land on Eremos as Keston kept going by, and then I was gonna thunder step us
Oh,
away
nice.
from this ogre.
That would have been awesome. I would have killed
That
it.
would-
too.
that would have been
Would've
cool.
been
Just be
cool.
like landing on Eremos, like, let's go.
That's awesome.
That would probably maybe cause an avalanche coming up behind us.
I can't wait for
That'd
you
be
guys to
hilarious.
explain to Verkus in character what went down.
Where were you?
Yeah, he'll be having like a Stranger Things 11 type thing where the three of you are just standing there like stock still while he's like, guys, are you there? And you're just experiencing this whole thing in your mind. You'll come back and you'll be like, we went sledding. He'll be like, what?
No, you very well didn't. Yes, we did.
Yeah,
We took down an ogre.
I love it. Well, give me 1 minute here. Oh,
Cool, cool.
it's like finally we have a nice day, so my allergies are just like, you will suffer. Yes.
I feel
Roll for
that.
allergies. Con save.
Don't have 'em.
Nat one.
Yup. Oh yeah. So you guys are no more ogres in the path. You guys are continuing on down to Eremos. I figure you would have pulled your shield out and continued sledding, so you're good to go.
Yeah. Yep.
So you guys are moving down the hill, and the slope starts to get a little more even. So you guys are starting to slow down your speed to a much more manageable level. And up ahead, you see a small little village with just like some wooden cabins, and because it's kind of snowy, there are a few chimneys from the houses where some smoke is coming out. It looks like a small little mountain town. There's a tiny little creek that runs through the town. You're counting like maybe eight cabins and one kind of larger building that is probably like a general goods store / town hall, kind of all inclusive. So a tiny little town. You don't see anyone outside, but you guys are able to, if you want, easily maneuver to kind of come up onto a little snowbank and stop yourselves pretty easily right on the edge of this little town.
100%, yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
I think as I roll on up, the sled just melts.
Yeah. And you guys notice that again, this place doesn't seem entirely natural. Suddenly it's like evening, like nightfall, even though earlier it seemed like it was midday.
Oh,
What's this?
Hallucination that we're all contributing to. Let's go.
yes, mass hallucination. Let's go. Yeah.
That's right. You guys, I haven't been on a mass hallucination in such a long time. I think the last time was with my grandmother while we were walking in the woods around her house.
Oh, and I start to lead the way into town, angling towards the large community building.
Okay.
Quick, I also get more tide leaf since I long rested.
Oh, nice.
I will be playing with Olive, using Druidcraft to just like a little gust of wind, and she's like on her little hammock, like floating.
Nice. Yeah, just.
She's just having fun. So I'm like, stay lost, follow me.
Oh yeah, she's just kind of circling around you, going like, woo, woo, just moving around. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
As you guys approach the community building, the front wooden double doors do not appear locked, so you can just go on inside if you'd like.
Does it look like
Yeah.
it's lit and there are people in there?
Yeah, there's a small amount of smoke coming from the chimney in there, so it seems like you don't hear anyone inside, but you see a little bit of smoke, so it seems like there's someone with a fire in there to stay warm.
Sure, we'll
We
go
walk
on in. Yeah.
100%.
Okay.
No qualms, no knocking on the door. Just walk right in.
Nice. So as you walk in, there is a cloaked figure sitting at a chair. The room is like, it's big, but it's like empty. There's just a chair and a fireplace, but there's no other furniture inside. Kind of disconcerting.
Is there anyone sitting in the chair?
Yeah, just a cloaked figure, dark
Oh, yeah.
cloak over. Yeah, facing away from you towards the fire.
I say, hello.
No response from the
Interesting.
figure.
No response.
No response.
Nothing else. Awkward.
I go around to the front of this the hooded figure,
Cool. So
and I just start waving like hello.
yeah, you can see under the hood. It is a not fully skeletal corpse, but a very decomposed human corpse just sitting there facing the fire.
Yeah.
Oh. This person is dead, so I don't think we're gonna get any information out of them, folks.
Can you not speak with the dead?
No, I really can't.
Dang.
I know certain people who entertain the more natural, magics can, but not particularly the kind of natural magic I study. Mine's more stars and space and gravity.
Well, I guess we can look around and see if there's any information on what killed him, or what if there's anything I don't know if there's anyone else in here. He said it's just a table and a chair.
Is it that
I-
that there's a fire going?
Yeah.
Can I use Druidcraft to put it out?
Yes.
This is unnecessary, and I just wave my hand.
Ooh, I'm actually glad you did, because as the fire goes out, you see that
no.
in this fireplace, behind it on the kind of stone brick that makes up the chimney of the fireplace, hey Haru, you notice that there is, I just got to pull up this thing real quick. Give me 1 second.
Because I knew Matthew would friggin' put out the fire.
Actually, no, this is actually, I wrote it down for something totally different, but this is a perfect place to use it. So we're going to use it. So, you see that there is, now that the fire's out and you can see the stone bricks a little more clearly, that there is a small inscription written in a language you've never seen before. And below it, there are 4 square bricks that are kind of a different size than the rest. Most of the bricks are very rectangular. These 5 bricks are squares, and they're kind of a different like hue, slightly like a different color than the other bricks around this fireplace. And the text is going to be, let me check what languages you guys speak real quick. So actually,
Divination.
Kastan, you would recognize Sylvan Elvish as the text that is written above these 5 differentiated bricks. And what the text says is, and I will prep to send it to you guys really quick so you can reference it.
My
Says,
cousin would know what this means.
well, you do too. You speak Sylvan, Kastan.
True.
So I'm putting it in the general chat here, and it reads, "The sun rises, the wheat grows, but the people come, only skulls are left. Then the moon rises, and so the cycle turns like a wheel ever drawn."
Are the 5 bricks each a certain like is one yellow and
Nope.
one's white? No.
They are all just a little bit paler than the other bricks around it that make up the chimney, but the 5 square bricks, they are all the same hue. They're just a little bit paler than the rest.
Okay.
And with your passive investigation, it would look like they are not as sturdy of a rock type as the other bricks. Like the other bricks are more hardened for like resisting heat and stuff, since they make up the fireplace. These 5 bricks look a little more brittle and softer. So
Is there any other like imagery in the room?
nope.
Well, I have a crowbar in my adventures pack. I pull it, or my Dungeoneer's kit. I pull it out.
Are you suggesting we pry off the skull from that corpse?
No, I was suggesting that I bash in these bricks and see what's behind them.
Oh.
We might be, if they're
Yeah,
they seem to be looser, we might be able to just pull one out.
Give it a shot. Try pulling out with your crowbar.
Yep. I will. Well, I'll first use just my hand and I'll try to pull it out.
I'm
and then if it
gonna
doesn't work,
walk away from the fireplace while it does
I'll
this.
try I'll try to pry it with the crowbar. If it doesn't work,
I
with
give
my
him a pat on the back and say, "You got this," and give him a guidance. And
Cool.
I'll stay right there. Claire me wants to run.
The
Kastan's
Eremos,
like, what's going on?
as you go up to this one of the bricks and you try to pull it out with your hands, it's wedged in pretty tight, but with the crowbar you are able to dislodge it. So what comes
I
out,
picked the one in the middle. I picked the one in the middle.
okay, yeah, what comes out is a rocky cube. It's a perfect cube, and behind it are more of the same bricks that make up the rest of the fireplace. So this cube dislodges and nothing happens as you take it out. It's the same on all of its sides. It's just a rock that's been hewn into a cube.
I toss it back to Tide and start working on the other 5.
They all come out, also with no effect.
There's no
nothing on
difference
any of their
between them
sides.
now that we're looking.
No markings on any of them, no differentiating marks. They are all just even, well-hewn cubes. They're basically a bunch of little rocky D6s.
I cast light. I cast light in the fireplace to like illuminate any dark shadows or corners, so I can get a good look. It's all plain mason's bricks, other than those 5.
Correct. You find no other
Okay.
clues besides that text that is inscribed on the regular bricks above these 5 slots where these 5 cubes of rock were placed previously.
Didn't we find some items off that mage guy?
You
Like
did.
some necklaces or something?
You did.
Oh yeah,
We
who
found
has?
some charms.
We have 5 gems. We do. We have 3 in a necklace that I initially was assuming were magical, which weren't, and then we have a ruby and an emerald.
Correct.
So maybe if the Josh, what are the colorations of the 3 that were in the necklace?
It was it was red, blue, green. So a ruby, an emerald, and a sapphire.
Dang.
And then
So
you have another emerald and another ruby.
yeah, so we have 2 red, 2 green, and a blue is what we have.
Correct.
We don't have anything that would be like the color of a sun, is what I was hoping.
You do
Yeah.
Can I
not.
go check the skull of this corpse in the room?
You can.
I'm looking for anything that seems to be related to the inscription, or if the skull will easily come off the body.
Kastan, I would like you to make a dex save, please.
Oh no. Okay, my dex save is decent until I roll a nat 1. So that happened.
As you're assessing the head of this corpse, it suddenly lashes out and bites your hand for for 6 piercing damage.
Oh, it's a good thing I have those temp HP.
Yes, it is. So it bites deep into the flesh of your hand, and for a minute, its eyes look like it's come to life, and then it goes back to being a corpse.
This corpse is alive. It just bit me. I'm like holding my hands.
So we can speak with it. I go up to it and I grab it by the shoulders and I say, "What are we doing here?"
It's
I
just a
shake it.
corpse. It's just like it doesn't respond at all.
And I think, oh, what the heck?
Go for the head.
Mound of Mol'Karrian.
I try to shove its head into one of the brick slots.
The brick slots are pretty small. They're about like yay big,
know.
and then this thing has a regular sized human head. So
Mm.
nope.
Can I do some kind of like insight on this now that like Keston has read us the script?
Oh,
I would say not an insight, but an investigation, because
Okay.
I want like an intelligence based roll for you. But yeah,
can I use my free use of detect thoughts today for the skeleton?
you can try.
I'm gonna try.
Does it roll to resist or no?
If it has
Only
thoughts,
if
maybe.
only if I try to go further. So I want to just try and get surface thoughts, if any, and then if I try to probe deeper, it has to make a wisdom save.
You sense that this corpse, it's very difficult to feel its thoughts because they're very. It's almost like they're
Slow.
buried underwater. Yeah, but you
Mm.
see it fixating on the necklace and laughing sarcastically, almost as if saying, "That won't help you."
I only got a 14.
The necklace.
With a 14 for investigation, Tide, you do notice that the first sentence of that message has 5 statements separated by commas. That's
The
really
sun
all that you
rises,
glean
the
from it.
beat grows, people come, skulls are left, moon rises.
Correct.
So
Oh,
the
I
cycle
have an
turns
idea.
like a wheel.
I have an idea. The wheel is going to open like a secret door in the fireplace. So for the first brick space, I will cast light inside that little alcove where the first one for the sun rises. I cast light in there. And then I take out some food and shove it in the second one.
Nothing's happened so far, but I like where your head's at.
And then I
People
shove my fist in the third one.
People.
Nothing's happened so far, but there are 2
Well,
empty spaces left.
Can I take like a finger off of this corpse? I want to remove
Sure.
part of it and put it in the hole.
Yeah.
Great. I do that cautiously. I don't want this thing biting me again.
Yeah, it lets you remove a finger without doing anything, so.
And I put it in the 4th hole.
And then my sacred flame is for mine flavored as moonlight. So if I can like do a little sacred flame in that last.
As you cast
Blood.
it, Indeed, a bunch of bricks fall down from below it, and a small wheel is behind it, and it begins turning. And
Nice.
you guys solved it. Well done. So,
Oh,
yeah, you guys open up a small portal, and it looks like just a tunnel into the back of the. Now, when you observe this building from the outside, it looks like the chimney was on the very edge. So the fact that at the back of this chimney something's opening, and it's a tunnel further in, you will have to crawl to get in there. But you don't remember there being more building behind that, so it seems magical and strange. But
As we
I
leave, I will go last and hit the corpse with a produce flame.
cool, yeah, it goes up in flame, and it
A
just
little vintage.
it doesn't come to life or anything. It just burns away. So
Well, I rolled a hit, and it's an 18 on the dice.
Yeah,
that
oh,
hits. Yeah, you would have
Yeah,
gotten
that's
advantage because it's not moving. So
Great, and that's 11 fire damage.
Woo!
that
Nice.
consumes the corpse. Yes,
Beautiful.
yes. Who crawls through this thing first?
I do, of course.
Okay. The
yes.
Eremos, you crawl through, and it's very dark inside. Do you have dark vision?
No, but I have light.
Okay, yes. Yeah, you bring the light with you, and oh yeah, I want to see what it was posted just now.
Oh, that was just a little familiar for myself.
Nice. Okay. Yep. So, Eremos, as you come through, you have your light. You see that as it opens up into a larger chamber, there's a figure standing with its back to you, looking down at something in a large, like a rocky room that's very dark.
What does the figure look like to me? Humanoid? What size is it?
It looks kind of familiar. It's about 5'9", and then as you get a little closer, you're like, "Oh, that's Verkus." And that's
Oh,
and as you guys come out, you're back in the room where you started. You're just like crawled out of nowhere, and that's the end of the session. We'll resume next time we can play with Charles. So that was our little one-off adventure.
that was fun.
Verkus, your
Yeah.
brother's
Love
back.
all the various magic that
Yes.
I was able to use for this time.
That was very fun. So yeah, next session we're going to start. I'm going to be like, Charles, you're standing there, and suddenly your friends are non-responsive, just standing there. And after a few minutes, suddenly they vanish, and you turn around, and they're crawling out of a hole that's appeared in the wall.
Ogres.
Sledding, and he'll be like, "What?" So,
Eremos has a little bit of a bloody nose from running into that moose, into the elk. Like,
yeah,
What happened to your face? Oh, just the wayward
Just,
elk.
just
Elk.
smacked a moose in my face. No big deal.
Kastan distracted a bunch of elk, and then
Move. Who are you? Sorry. I love it.